The Rose and the Destroyer finally collide. Renitoshi figuring out how Isagi and Kaiser work, and the game is yet again at a high stakes impasse. Blue Lock chapter 290 dropped today, and this was an intense one. So without wasting any time, let's get into it. So the chapter starts immediately where the last one left off. The ball is in the air. We see Nanase, Karasu, and Shido along with Charles saying PXG's grand finale, followed by Shido saying it's time to counter. We then see Charles pass it to someone saying ready, go, followed by Isagi saying shit, 100% unexpected, but how did he stop us? Our improvised chemical reaction, talking about Rin stopping him last chapter. And without any time being wasted, we see Rin come right next to Isagi and say, sticking to you in a 4-meter radius. I have all your physical abilities and specs ingrained in my brain. With my physical prowess and your individual abilities, I can react and stop you in a 4-meter radius. As we see Rin pop a simple domain, for some weird reason, and try to counter Isagi in the best way that he can. And in the very next page, we see Rin talk to Isagi saying, the most critical moment when you try to link up again, followed by Isagi saying, Rin really is crazy. Shit. What should we do? If he's on me, should I just get away for once? Followed by in the very next page, Isagi thinking to himself how he can get away from Rin, saying, if I move on my own, my link up with Kaiser will disappear even more. And then the newborn bastard Munchin will be destroyed. In the last moment, Rin has found a new motivation and renewed himself. I can't back out. As we see the page of puzzle pieces of Bastard Munich and how all of it is just crumbling down if he tries moving away from Kaiser so Rin can react. It's a life or death situation in this. Isagi then saying, I have to win with him in these 4 meters. Rin saying, that's right. Come, Isagi. Your mind, your freedom, your dreams, your spirit, everything most dear to you. Followed by, in this very next page, we see this amazing artwork of Rin and Isagi clashing, with, I'm assuming, Isagi's metavision being ingrained in a hand that is being devoured by Rin's destroyer aura. That or Perinda from Bleach has somehow made his way into Blue Lock. The collaboration we never expected would happen. We then get to see Kyoto up against Nanase, where Nanase then passes to somebody, and then in the very next page, we get to see that it was Raichi, only to be blocked by Karasu, where Karasu says, run, overworked glasses, followed by Zantetsu saying, lactic acid linear motor car dash. What? I swear he's not right in the head. Where then we see Raichi say, what? They ran here and didn't stop immediately, followed by Hiyori saying, oh no, they passed to the midfield, which is going to none other than Charles himself, to where he says, that's here, right, Licky Rin? What the fuck is wrong with these characters? To where then he says killer pass, and it's to none other than Shido himself. The cameo man has returned. To where then Charles says, not to you, but Shido. Shido then says, in French mind you, Je t'aime contreron. I think I said that right. I hope I said that right. We get this amazing look at Shido with his demon wings, along with Kyoto, who has been damn near non-existent throughout this game, and finally get some chapter time, Lord. And then just then in the very next page, we see Kunigami clash with Shido with the ball. Kunigami then says, just try to shoot, you vermin. Followed by Shido saying, that's sudden, I'm a contrarian too. Followed by Kyoto saying, he didn't shoot? Only for Shido to have passed. That pass being to none other than Rin himself. Rin saying, Isagi, let's go, last battle. Followed by Isagi saying, goal is 33 meters away, just a bit too far to shoot. But if we go a few meters ahead, we can shoot. One action deadline. Both of them colliding, rushing straight towards the goal. And in the very next page, we hear from Shido again saying, hey, give it here, Rin. Give me a contrarian pass. Followed by Isagi saying, no, Rin wants to clash with me and then shoot, but I am just a sacrificial pawn. So now, as we see Isagi activate his original ego and Rin looking in the exact same direction as Isagi. And what they were looking at was none other than Kaiser coming to stop. Isagi saying, come, machine. Kaiser saying, it's here, right? Clash and shoot spot. Barging the fuck in. Isagi saying, you're the best, Kaiser. With Kaiser activating Metavision and Isagi still using his original ego. We then see Rin activate his destroyer aura and try to devour both of them, saying, lukewarm, I was waiting for this heat. Followed by Kaiser saying, this guy. And then Isagi saying, he read this and didn't aim to clash with me. me, which is crazy to me considering I don't know if this is plot or not, but like, how? How? Okay. And in the very next page, it is a double spread of both Rin and Kaiser clashing in this amazing artwork, followed by Isagi saying he didn't read to aim to clash with me. Rin then says, Isagi, destroying your greatest passion is my biggest pleasure, followed by Kaiser saying, sorry, but, and in the very next page, we see Kaiser pushing back against Rin, beating him in physical prowess, by Kaiser saying, when it comes to physical contact, I have had a very special education since I was a kid. And then from that, in the very next page, we see Kaiser spin around Rin and aim for the ball, with Rin saying, this posture, spin in the air, followed by Kaiser saying, I'm a piece of shit. You said it, not me. To where in the very next page, the final page, Kaiser manages to kick it away from Rin, to where now it is a free ball, followed by Kaiser saying, my upbringing was way worse than yours, people, followed by Isagi saying, are you a god, you damn superstar? Followed by the narrator saying, Kaiser, who grew up in the dark, defends by a thread. It's time to counter. Now, overall, I thought that was a decently good chapter, but a lot of people are having issues with the whole Rin versus Kaiser thing. It's literally stated Kaiser barely held on by a thread against this. So if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. But a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Kaiser was definitely better than Rin to begin with, so this all makes sense. Are we sure about that? Again, barely held on by a thread. Just want to put that out there. Also, even if it was physical prowess, that's just physical prowess. Like, in terms of stats alone, Rin has it over them, which also explains why Isagi and Kaiser had to work together to take on Rin. People automatically assume that one singular page that shows Kaiser managing to beat Rin in physical prowess means something. Mind you, both of them have plot. That cannot be discredited, right? Kaiser had to reach back, like, several chapters ago into his backstory to actually do something against Rin. Granted, Rin in this instance may or may not, based off of the image, have Destroyer Aura activated, but not really. As we see him clash with Kaiser with Destroyer Aura, but immediately afterwards when Kaiser tries, he doesn't have it anymore. So you gotta take that into account. Overall, I still have Rin over Kaiser. Kaiser, again, barely was able to do anything with that. If you even wanted to argue strength, whatever. In terms of everything else, I'm sorry, that's going to Rin. There's no other way to put it. Overall, though, I thought it was pretty good. As for how this whole game is gonna end, I don't know. I want this game to end. I really do. It's been going on a year. It needs to stop. It truly does. It's gonna be the same thing again. They're gonna go down the field. They're gonna come back. They're gonna do it again. But that was Blue Lock Chapter 290. If you all enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, do whatever, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!